Welcome, and thank you for joining us for Me, Myself, and I. Jennifer Weigel is a multidisciplinary mixed media conceptual artist. She incorporates costume into identity-based artworks, exploring themes about stereotypes, identity, gender identity, and more. And we are very excited to have her here today in the studio for this interview. How did the identity works evolve? I always loved costumes. Even as a kid, I loved dressing up. So it was kind of a natural progression for me to wind up in costume-based art. And that translated in a different sense later when I started to go into performance art and really developed a sense of costume-based identity works. There was one particular turning point. I was entering a show themed around identity and decided I wanted to do a deck of identity crisis cards. And so I took a photograph of myself and then digitally manipulated it in Photoshop based on preconceptions that we have of each other. So I wound up with like a nun and a priest and a queen and a pimp and a rock star and like all of these different personas that were all just drawings on top of this photograph. Why do you portray yourself in so many different roles and identities? Part of what I'm doing in this work is exploring the idea of avatar. I've been exploring a whole lot of different ideas surrounding social media, how we present ourselves to others, how we feel about ourselves, how we portray ourselves, where you have a different presence for Facebook than for Twitter, than for LinkedIn, than for all of these other sites. I'm very interested in gender fluidity and people being able to be true to themselves. All of these different things come into play and become such a huge element of how we define self. What is the personal significance in putting yourself out there? I struggle with very bad social phobia. I especially struggle with concerns about other people judging me. By confronting this in the identity-based works, by going all out and really embracing the idea of just running with it to the edge, I am really trying to act opposite of my instincts, which would be to withdraw within myself. And I'm also trying to prove to myself it's okay. How have you engaged publicly with the community in your various costume-based identities? One of the early ones is I did a series called Dressing for the Occasion. Basically, I was putting on different costumes and going to art receptions, and a lot of the work evolved from that. So I did a scavenger hunt for open studios, and with my ex-husband, I took 100 photographs of myself in various costumed identities. I distributed 48 of these images to artists on the studio tour, and invited studio tour goers to go and find them as part of a scavenger hunt and then redeem their checklists for prizes. In regards to other community engagement, I have some costumes that I've developed over time that have reappeared in different contexts. I'm currently wearing the costume that I've worn for the Honk Parade. When and why did you start exploring selfies as an art form? I've always engaged in self-portraiture. Even as a young child, I've got self-portraits going back from when I was 5 and 6 years old. So it's really kind of been ongoing. As far as the selfies, that really took off once I joined Facebook. I've been using my Facebook feed and taking pictures of myself in various costumes, going out on the town or going and doing other things, performing for other events and stuff. And it's become a real staple of my work. A lot of people follow them on Facebook. They follow my feed and are interested to see how the different costumed identities are portrayed, how I convey myself. I've got different tongue-in-cheek like catchphrases that I've also developed out of some of the selfie explorations and out of some of the identity explorations. One was Jennifer Weigel was here. They were the I found Jennifer Weigel buttons and stickers distributed during Scavenger Hunt. I'm also exploring Will the Real Jennifer Weigel Please Stand Up? And so the idea is that I rise to the occasion and meet it head on, whatever it may be. Another of my kind of tongue-in-cheek commentary explorations is what will Jennifer Weigel do? What will Jennifer Weigel do becomes kind of the ultimate question, both to the audience and to myself, as I determine my course for the future and where my art is going to take me. And that's a wrap.